I certainly am not satisfied with what I'm seeing, and so it's time for some changes.
Right now on KGW Plus, city leaders seem to agree Portland's drug deflection program isn't working. Coming up this morning, how the district attorney says he plans to crack down. Plus, Newport's mayor is revealing new details that suggest a controversial ICE detention facility may still be moving forward along the Oregon coast. The clues that have neighbors and city leaders on alert. Then later.
The average loss would be about $960 for a whole year.
We take a look at how more than 100,000 Oregonians could take a financial hit if federal health care subsidies are allowed to expire. The 7 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green. We got the boys in town to tell us about the weather and traffic. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Cloudy skies, comfortable. We're in the 40s outside. We do have an area of what's been mostly light to gentle rain. Newport, around Salem. Salem right now, if you look at the current window there, starting to dry out. We do have misty spots being reported up in Portland, although the radar is not picking anything up. And by the way, whatever moisture is out there, it's just all liquid, meaning rain, all the way up over Cascade Passes, including all the way to Timberline Lodge. So snow levels are high. This exact moment, well, McNary Field back to reporting a little bit of rain, 49 degrees. It's been a pretty wet start for you folks. Portland's been a mixture of dry and then some misty spots at times. As we look at the wet bricks from the Pioneer Park building, 46 degrees. The wettest part of our day here in the North Valley, meaning Portland and Vancouver, will be late morning, noon into early afternoon. That's when a rain area will be pushing through. Later today, though, could be all dry at 5 o'clock and could be a dry evening. Here's Chris.
A little drippy, a little drizzly out there, a little foggy too. There's the drive from the Glen Jackson Bridge. That's I-205 traffic heading southbound with the taillights here from SR-14. If you're heading to the airport, by the way, happy to let you know, or if you're expecting someone coming in from afar, air travel across the U.S. has been relatively good. I haven't seen any problems out at PDX. I do want to zoom in real quick into the Twilliger curves. We've had a fender bender here southbound I-5 near the Twilliger exit. It's been there for about an hour now. ODOT crews there on the scene working to get that clear, and it is causing some slowing here. I'm going to show you this other camera here, which is a little north of that vantage point. It's in a really tough spot right as you make that sweeping right turn to get off at Twilliger. So be on the lookout for that if you're heading southbound. And as always, today and every day, watch out for emergency responders or folks displaying their hazards on the road. You are required to slow down and or move over for those folks out on the road. So far, though, China, the freeway drive is generally, outside of this, is in pretty good shape.
Thank you, Chris. We have breaking news out of southeast Portland, where a pedestrian was hit and killed in a crash near the intersection of Cesar Chavez Boulevard and Harrison Street. Portland police say the pedestrian died at the scene and the driver is cooperating. We have a crew headed to the scene and we'll update you as we learn more. The Multnomah County District Attorney says the county's deflection program needs an overhaul in order to work as intended. Less than pleased with the results over the past year, he's making some changes come January. Jake Holter has the details.
Right now, those arrested in possession of hard drugs can choose treatment through the deflection program instead of jail. This in the hopes of rehabilitating those struggling with addiction. But District Attorney Nathan Vasquez says when an individual is arrested for hard drug possession, they are brought to the deflection center, then dropped off, and that's that. No court or police involvement afterwards. Of the 520 people police referred to deflection this past year, only 113 people actually completed the program. Vasquez says that's not good enough and there has to be some sort of accountability. So beginning January 5th, the DA's office will more closely track these cases and pursue charges against those caught in possession of hard drugs who failed to complete deflection.
Those reports will come to my office, and either they will have a citation to appear at a future court date, or if the other route would be that a warrant would be issued for their arrest. Those are the two options.
Once someone's taken to the deflection center and completes an assessment, they then have 90 days to, quote, meaningfully engage in treatment. And if that's the case, then the DA will not file criminal charges. But if someone has an active warrant on their record, then they are not eligible for deflection. Back to you.
Meantime, top prosecutors in Oregon sent a cease and desist letter to Departments of Justice and Homeland Security to, quote, immediately halt unlawful and reckless actions by federal officers in the state. The letter accuses federal officers of using unreasonable force in Oregon, including striking Portland police, deploying tear gas near residents, and detaining teenagers at gunpoint. Rayfield says his office will monitor and investigate any cases where federal officers may have acted beyond their lawful authority. In response to a recent KGW investigation into federal officer conduct, a DHS spokesperson said in part, quote, ICE and CPB are trained to use the minimum amount of force necessary to resolve dangerous situations to prioritize the safety of the public and themselves. Meanwhile, the city of Salem has now declared a state of emergency over immigration enforcement, joining communities like Woodburn and Hillsborough. Council voted 7-3 Monday night. And according to immigrant justice group Oregon for All, earlier this month, federal agents detained at least 24 people a single day in Salem. In Newport, the mayor is revealing new details that an ICE facility may still be in the works. For weeks, neighbors and residents have pushed back on the possibility. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us in the newsroom. Thomas, what's the latest?
Yeah, well, China, while local leaders and even Oregon senators have expressed alarm over plans to build an ICE facility in Newport, the mayor says it does appear the federal government is still looking for places to board workers.
We confirmed today that Team Housing Solutions has called multiple hotels up and down the coast as recently as this morning, looking for as many as 200 hotel rooms for a year.
Mayor Kaplan is referring to government contractors there. Kaplan also adds a Coast Guard rescue helicopter moved by the federal government 70 miles down the coast from Newport has now been returned to his city. Still, he isn't sure if it'll stay. That'll be dictated by a lawsuit currently winding its way through the court system after the state and Lincoln County sued the federal government to bring the chopper back to Newport. We've reached out to the Department of Homeland Security about the return of the helicopter and any possible plans to build an ICE facility in Newport. We'll let you know what they say once we hear back. China.
Thomas, thank you. And in an update, the Olympic pipeline, which carries gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel to PDX and SeaTac Airport, has partially restarted after the crews found the source of a leak near Everett, Washington. And that's good news for Thanksgiving travelers, who officials say will likely only experience minor disruptions. BP, the company that operates the line, says the leak was in the gas line, allowing them to bring the jet fuel line back into service. Delta, Alaska, and American Airlines have ended fuel stops and returned to normal operations at SeaTac. Meanwhile, Oregon and Washington issued emergency orders to get fuel where it's needed and quickly. ODOT crews will be keeping an eye out for potentially dangerous situations during this busy travel week, but officials say drivers also need to do their part. ODOT wants drivers to slow down in the rain, snow, or fog and give road crews plenty of room. And as always, plan ahead. Expect delays and carry chains as well as emergency supplies. Also, don't forget about tripcheck.com. It'll let you know about road conditions before you leave. And ODOT says one way to avoid all of that is consider car-free travel. Amtrak says it's had record ridership this year, with the Northwest a key part of that growth. A spokesperson says Amtrak has added more trains in our area to help make the holiday less stressful.
And I think Thanksgiving specifically, it's just that it's very nice to have someone else take the wheel. You're not stuck in traffic. You don't have to go through security lines. You can sit back, watch the beautiful views that the Cascade area has to offer. So it's really, really nice way to kind of get to your loved ones.
And Amtrak says, well, you don't need to arrive 2 hours early like you do at the airport. You'll want to leave a little wiggle room. So plan to get there about a half hour before the train boards. Your time now, 7:08. Let's take a look at weather with Rod Hill.
I'm chuckling. I don't know if that spokesperson's from our local region, but they had a clear sky picture in the back. And I'm like, this time of the year, you don't often get nice views. It's actually cloudy. Here's the satellite radar. We've got rain moving in from just south of Portland. You can see Salem. You've been in this area of rain. It's been mostly light stuff coming and going. We've got misty weather up in Portland that, of course, isn't being picked up by radar, but it's showing up in our observations. There's a wet look at our state capitol this morning. Again, nothing stormy. It's been mostly light to gentle rain, and it's mild outside, 49 degrees. Here's the cloud deck, which is quite low, so that makes sense that we're getting some misty or drizzle reports around the region. 46 degrees. One of those reports currently coming out at PDX. Temperature is not an issue. We're nice and comfortable. 48 in Wilsonville, 45 Gresham, 46 Scappoose. 47 Dallas, 48 degrees down in Albany. Almsville is at 50 degrees, as a matter of fact. This afternoon's map, there's actually that rain I showed you down in Salem and Albany. That area is going to be pushing north through the morning hours. So the wettest part of Portland's day will be centered around the noon, 1 o'clock hours. And then later today, 4 or 5 o'clock, the rain starts to push north of us, and we'll see drying coming up from the south. There's a good bet that we're going to have a dry evening, in fact. Now, everybody does have clouds, and everybody does have a rain chance throughout our day. It shows Bend at 50 degrees. Snow levels are high. Timberline's at 36 degrees right now. It's just rainy over the Cascade Passes. The clouds and the rain at times continues on Thanksgiving Day. Again, mild, high snow levels, 54 tomorrow. Friday, we're behind all of this. We opened up some sun breaks. Then we started getting some views with scattered showers. Shower threat on Saturday, maybe. Sunday looks to be dry with views, 48 degrees. All right, here's Chris McGinnis.
Ron, thanks for that. We've got a pair of traffic alerts to pass along. First off, a reminder, as China just mentioned, Portland police right now performing a fatal crash investigation here. A pedestrian was struck and killed near the intersection of Southeast Cesar Chavez and Division, or excuse me, Market right now. So right now, Southeast Cesar Chavez Boulevard is closed between Lincoln and Market. We're working to get more details on this. We will bring those to you just as soon as we have them. Cesar Chavez, though, likely to be a no-go here for several hours. Meanwhile, back to the freeway, we've got a crash here that looks like it's in the clearing stages. It's been here a while. This is I-5 southbound near Terwilliger, and you can see there's a bit of a lineup starting to build here as folks make that sweeping turn towards the Burlingame area. So give them some space. China, as always, you're required to slow down and or move over for emergency responders on the side of the road for their safety. Obviously, folks are doing the slowing down part for now. We'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Chris.
My dad actually had a lot of help on what to do, how to start.
Coming up on KGW Plus, we are taking a look at the major grant helping Latino business owners carve out a path in Portland's food scene. But first, his life fell apart in Portland until one unexpected moment changed everything for him. After the break, how a simple sign and the people who stopped to read it set one man and his pet pig on a brand new path.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
A Portland man is leaving town today for what you might call a fresh start. After more than a decade in the Rose City, his life essentially imploded. Though a chance encounter this week changed everything all over again. Catherine Cook shows us how.
In life, we're always looking for signs, wondering if we can trust them.
We do see people holding signs every day.
And how best to respond.
Let's see if we can help this guy.
For this team from Portland Fire's Community Health Assess and Treat program, the answer felt obvious Wednesday as they drove through the Lloyd district. That's where Jethro Warnke and Aaron Botteron saw this sign.
He said that he was a veteran and that he was trying to get home.
In the hands of Tony James.
I was trying to get dog food and gas for the car, And they stopped, rolled down their window, and asked me, what was my situation.
We just don't know why people are in the situation that they're in.
Why, for example, was Tony homeless? Why did he need help?
Come here.
Why,
come here.
What?
Well, that doesn't, wait a minute. And then we realized it was a pig. And that was a whole different situation.
A 250-pound situation named Roscoe.
He doesn't even know he's a pig. He thinks he's a dog, if anything, because yeah.
Tony has a dog, too. That's Elvis. 2 pets, 1 daily reminder.
It's the last thing that I have of my significant other. So he means everything to me. He's like a child.
In August, Tony's girlfriend of 13 years died of a heart attack. Just a month before that, the couple and their pets moved into this car after a string of tough breaks.
I had complications to surgery, basically, and I wasn't able to pay my rent, and I lost my house.
Too much pain and too many words to write on a piece of cardboard.
I spoke out and I told my story to some people that were willing to listen to me, and they were the only people that even opened an ear to hear me, and I'm so thankful for it.
Making that human connection with somebody, is, his situation may seem challenging, but we're able to help.
Jethro and Aaron thought of Portland's reunification program, which connects people living on the streets with loved ones. They called Tony's father in Chicago.
And his dad was on board to have him come home.
Put myself back together, just start grieve and put myself together.
Another team member called Lighthouse Farm Sanctuary in Scio. They agreed to take Roscoe right away.
There's gonna be a lot of tears. I just hope he doesn't, he's like my child. I got tonight to spend with him.
Tony is just an incredible human being.
A sign that you never really know someone's story.
Don't be judgmental.
Or how it will end.
I'm so grateful.
In Northeast Portland.
Literally, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it.
Catherine Cook.
Thank you.
KGW News.
Your time now is 7:16. We're taking a live look from our Pioneer Courthouse Square sky cam. The sun's a-coming, the birds are flying, the rain, don't know what it's doing.
That's kind of misty out.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, kind of
I could tell the bricks were wet.
Yeah. The wettest part of today in Portland is going to be late morning, noon hour, early afternoon. And then we could get treated to dry time.
Love that.
Well, it is a big deal because today you assume that the traffic is going to be really heavy for that PM commute as people try to get out of town. So if we can dry out then, it would, at least increase the chances that busy commute gets out of town and gets going at a decent clip. Here we are right now. There's nothing stormy. Snow levels are high. 36 Timberline Lodge, rain over the Cascade Passes. That will continue to be the case. No snow up there tonight or tomorrow, just rainy weather. And again, we've got mist in Portland that the radar is not picking up, but it is picking up this surge of moisture from Newport. It's light to gentle rain that's been moving across Salem. And this is the area that will be migrating to the north, and Futurecast shows that. Here we are at 10 o'clock, now seeing this rain starting to move into Portland. And then here we are, noon, it's raining, 1 o'clock, it's raining. And then we get to 5 o'clock. Notice the drying coming up from the south, and this makes sense. So this could give us a completely dry evening, actually, as the moisture continues to push away from us. Now, this is 9 o'clock tonight. Looks pretty good. Here's tomorrow morning. Shot of some earlier rain coming through. Scattered showers, clouds, some misty weather during the day. Here we are at noon. And then there's another push of some rain picking up later in the day into the evening. So that's your Thanksgiving day. Cloudy skies, rain at times. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Snow levels will be high. Chinook Winds Casino Resort right now, cloudy skies. Lincoln City reporting some rain, 53. Again, that rain's coming on board across Lincoln County, then pushing in to Marion and Lynn counties right now. Here's Timberline Lodge, and notice the day parking lot. That's just wet, right? The pavement's wet, rain, 36 degrees up there. Here's Salem, where it's been a pretty wet morning. 49 is the current number. Portland, you can tell the clouds are low, and it looks like it's doing something. It's mostly drizzle or misty weather. 46 again is the number, 47 in Kelso. Newport, Florence, and North Bend all in the 50s. The weather station at the airport in Astoria not reporting. 48 in Bend, freezing down in Burns this morning, and 31. Valley forecast. Rainy morning for you folks. Salem, Corvallis, McMinnville, then a much drier afternoon, and in fact becoming mainly dry. Southeast winds 5 to 15 up into the low 50s, considered very mild for this time of the year, actually pretty close to normal. 51 Battleground, Vancouver at 53. The early light showers or misty weather, the rainy midday, and then the dry evening coming. Here's the 7-day forecast. 47 tonight, 54 for your Thanksgiving Day. And then Friday, we're out of this period of the mild rainy weather, and we get sun breaks and scattered showers on Friday. I think there's a good chance that it will be dry Friday evening for the Christmas tree lighting at Pioneer Courthouse Square. And then we've got a shower chance Saturday, a day that could be dry, and then Sunday, a day that will be dry with mostly sunny skies. Here is Chris.
Rod, we pick it up with traffic news in Southeast Portland right now. Southeast Cesar Chavez Boulevard now closed for an ongoing fatal crash investigation here between Division and Southeast Market Street. Footage journalist Eric Patterson on the scene here. You can see that the Portland Police Bureau's major crash team is out investigating. We're understanding that a pedestrian was struck and killed near this intersection. The road is likely to be closed for some time. We're working to get more details here, and we hope to bring those to you shortly. But in the meantime, know that, again, Cesar Chavez closed between Division and Market. All right, back to the freeway drive. I-5 southbound. This fender bender has been here a while near the Terwilliger curves. The southbound right lane is still blocked, and that is having an impact on that southbound commute. So traffic's starting to tie up a little bit around that. Otherwise, the freeway volume out there is still pretty light. So for the most part, we're getting around okay this morning. China?
Chris, thank you. Coming up on Sunrise, President Trump says tremendous progress is being made toward ending Russia's war in Ukraine. The latest on the peace deal in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
You're getting a live look now at that breaking news in Southeast Portland, where a pedestrian was hit and killed in a crash near the intersection of Cesar Chavez Boulevard and Harrison Street. Portland police say the pedestrian died at the scene and the driver is cooperating. Cesar Chavez is closed between Market Street and Division Street as police investigate. We have a reporter on scene. We're waiting to get a live report from him soon. In other news this morning, in a renewed push to end the war in Ukraine, President Donald Trump is sending his top representatives to meet with Russia's president. Meanwhile, U.S. officials say Ukraine has agreed to the conditions of a revised Trump-backed peace plan. NBC's Alice Barr has the details.
Fresh off meetings on the war in Ukraine between top Trump officials and a Russian delegation in the United Arab Emirates, President Trump projecting optimism that a long-sought peace deal could be near.
We're having good talks. We won't know for a little while, but we're making progress.
That after posting that tremendous progress has been made after an original proposal that was widely criticized for being too favorable to Russia was, quote, fine-tuned with input from both sides.
That was not a plan, it was a concept.
One U.S. official telling NBC News the Ukrainians have all but agreed to an updated peace deal, with the White House saying there are a few delicate but not insurmountable details to work out. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky pointed to adjustments made after U.S.-Ukraine negotiations in Geneva.
That framework is on the table, and we are ready to move forward.
Russia, though, is threatening to walk away because of those changes to the original proposal that initially called for Ukraine to give up a fifth of its territory, shrink its military, and back down from entering NATO, all red lines for Ukraine. President Trump now saying he's sending a top envoy to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin, with other officials going to Ukraine, while offering this blunt assessment.
Look, this war could go on for years. And Russia's got a lot more people, got a lot more soldiers, you know. So I think if Ukraine can make a deal, it's a good thing. I think it's great for both.
The president adding he would meet with Putin and Zelensky only after a deal is reached. The U.S. Army Secretary delivered an even more grim assessment while meeting with officials in Ukraine, according to two sources with knowledge of the matter, who say the secretary warned Ukraine faced imminent battlefield defeat and should negotiate now. Ukraine's president has said his country will not stand down until Russia shuts down its war machine. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up in our next half hour, the false alarm that had some Clackamas County neighbors worried that they'd have to evacuate their homes in the middle of the night.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:29 under Wednesday Morning Drive. We start with a traffic alert, a pair of them actually. One in Southeast Portland's Richmond neighborhood. Right now, Cesar Chavez Boulevard is closed near Marcus Street because of an ongoing fatal crash investigation. You can see photojournalist Eric Patterson is on the scene here. Portland Police's major crash team is out investigating. We're working to get more details on this, and we'll bring them to you on our streaming platform here coming up in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, back to the Freeway Drive Interstate 84 westbound now. A crash near the I-5 split has traffic backing up here pretty quickly. Rod, we'll keep you posted on both of these.
All right, well, roads are wet. You know, we have some showers overnight. It's kind of misty in spots around Portland currently. The rain that the radar is picking up is more down towards Salem, and it's nothing stormy. It's been mostly light rain. Now, I say misty or drizzle, but look how wet this is from the Vancouver Springs at the waterfront camera. That looks really wet and kind of foggy looking at the Interstate Bridge. It's 47. The wettest part overall for the North Valley, Portland, and Vancouver will be right around noon, and we actually expect to push a drier weather later today.
Thanks for joining us on China Green. We'll get to your weather and traffic in just a minute, but first we have breaking news. Portland police say a pedestrian was hit and killed in a crash in southeast Portland. It happened just before 6 near the intersection of Cesar Chavez Boulevard and Harrison Street. Our Jake Holter is live at that intersection and joins us now. So Jake, what are you learning?
Yeah, China, it is still early hours in this, and we are standing here currently at Southeast Cesar Chavez and Southeast Lincoln, where it has been closed off. It appears that local traffic is able to get through here at Lincoln Street, but anything north on Cesar Chavez is closed all the way up to Market Street, which is just south of Southeast Hawthorne, and then there is a police officer all the way down to Division. So if you're looking to go through this way, it would be best to avoid it. Now, early reports say the driver has stayed on scene and has been cooperating with investigators. It appears that is the car with its hazards on. Again, the area is closed for the investigation. Police are not currently identifying the victim. The cause of the crash is unknown, but you know, we've had some people come through on their morning runs who are obviously concerned, asking what's happening. These sort of situations are always tragic. So let's get out to Chris with the...
Jake, thank you for that. Yeah, so obviously Cesar Chavez Boulevard is going to be closed for some time as Portland police continue with that investigation. 33rd Avenue is probably your best bet to get around that area. Again, that's in Southeast Portland's Richmond neighborhood. Right here, as Jake mentioned, the road effectively closed from Division to Market Street until further notice. There's, in fact, one of the closures here with Peabody actually out there with one of their vehicles near Southeast Division. All right, back to the freeway drive. We've got one other trouble spot. This I-84 westbound, a crash near the I-5 split has the left lane blocked, and traffic now is quickly starting to stack up. This is out past Lloyd Boulevard, and Rod, that drive is going to start backing up into the Hollywood district, and no doubt over the next few minutes. So we'll keep you posted on that.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. It's wet outside. We've got kind of patchy areas of mist or drizzle around the Portland area. We've got the area of rain you can see in green migrating from Newport across Salem. That's been mostly gentle rain, but it's been ongoing for hours. So pretty soggy. Here's our state capital with raindrops on the lens and a temperature of 49. Low clouds over Portland. Again, mist and drizzle being reported. 46 degrees is the number. That rain that's down over Salem pushes northward up through Portland through the noon hour. So late morning, noon, early afternoon, the rainiest part of Portland's day and Vancouver's. And then 5 o'clock, big rush hour home, people leaving for the 4-day holiday weekend. Could be dry, and I think this evening will be dry. I've got a high of 53. China?
Thank you, Rod. As you may remember from the government shutdown, Affordable Care Act subsidies are set to expire next month if Congress does not extend them. The Oregon Health Authority tells us nearly 35,000 Oregonians would lose financial support if the subsidies aren't extended. That's because they would no longer qualify. We also learned that rural and older Oregonians will feel the effects the most.
Most people are not going without insurance because they're still seeing a value of being covered. So what we're finding is that folks are actually just reducing their plan to a lower coverage tier.
Republicans have said that they plan to hold a vote on extending the subsidies, though the timing remains uncertain. Some Republican lawmakers have also suggested offering direct health savings account payments as an alternative. So in the meantime, if you rely on Affordable Care Act subsidies, the Oregon Health Authority recommends talking with a state expert to find an affordable option. Open enrollment for the Oregon Health Insurance Marketplace runs through January 15th. And head to OregonHealthCare.gov to learn more. All right, let's get you caught up on some other headlines this morning. Portland police are looking for the person responsible for a drive-by shooting in southeast Portland yesterday afternoon. Authorities say one person was hit while standing on the sidewalk near 165th and Division. While the victim's injuries are serious, authorities say they should survive. Police say an out-of-service TriMet bus was also hit. The driver was the only one on board and was not hurt. The Portland Thorns appear to have fired their head coach after just one season. Rob Gale had been with the team since 2023 and took over as head coach last year, leading the Thorns to back-to-back playoff appearances. First assistant coach Adam Day is also out. Assistant coach Sarah Loudon will take over in the interim. In Clackamas County, some residents got a scare when an alarm went off nearby, warning them of a dam breach. It turns out that it was just a false alarm, but around 1 a.m. Monday night, a warning system triggered at the River Mill Dam on the Clackamas near Estacada. That warning prompted calls to 911, response from Sheriff's Office. Deputies didn't find any issues. PGE confirms the dam is secure and there was no risk to the public. The company says the alarm lasted about 20 minutes, and they're now investigating why it went off after a routine test earlier in the day. And in Hillsborough, a new affordable housing complex is going up in the Tanasbourne area. It's called the Dolores, named after civil rights activist Dolores Huerta. Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici was there for a tour on Tuesday.
It's very hard now to find an affordable place to live. And here in Hillsborough, with the Dolores and other affordable housing projects that they're working on, this community in Washington County and many areas are working very, very hard to open the doors of opportunity for people to be in housing.
The complex features 67 units, 10 of which are dedicated to providing housing for people who were recently homeless. It's near Walker Road and Northeast 101st in Hillsborough. Construction is expected to finish next spring. Americans seem to be aiming to be more frugal this holiday shopping season. A new survey shows shoppers plan to spend 4% less on Black Friday and Cyber Monday this year. They say it's because of higher cost of living and concerns about the economy. That's a reversal from the last 4 years when people said they planned to spend more than the previous year. The survey also shows that consumers at both ends of the income spectrum say they are feeling the pinch from inflation this holiday season. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at weather.
Well, sun's up. I just looked out the window and it's really still dark out, and that's evidence of how thick the cloud deck is. It's hovering overhead. Portland's got reports of mist and drizzle. We've got occasional shots of mostly light rain moving through Salem. And we've had rain up here. This is Timberline Lodge at 6,000 feet. You can see the day parking lot, no snow, all clean, evidence of the high snow level. Temperature 36 degrees, been holding at 36 the last several hours. Snow levels remain well above Cascade Passes today, tonight, and tomorrow. No snow. Here's a look at our state capitol. I mentioned just occasional shots of rain been moving through here. 49 is the current temperature. Portland, here you can see the cloud deck low, kind of just above the downtown high rises. 46 degrees, that's misty weather being reported out at PDX along the Columbia River. Temperatures are comfortable. There's a southeast wind. We're getting some breezes bouncing to about 15 at times. 45 Forest Grove, 46 Happy Valley, not much of a variance. Almsville holding at 50, Salem just a degree shy. Dallas, good morning to you. 47 is your temperature. Buster is our pet of the day, and Buster is a cow. Beautiful shot though, right? I like the ears. My goodness, look at those things. All right, pet of the day at kgw.com. Use that email address, send us your pet's photo, and they will become our pet of the day. That's Buster this morning. Lots of fun. All right, by the way, the rain in Salem right now moves up into Portland around noon and then continues to push to the north. So by late afternoon, 4 or 5, or certainly this evening, we expect dry weather to overtake much of the valley and up into southwest Washington. Everybody does have an ongoing moisture chance on and off throughout a good chunk of the day. This shows Bend at 50. Mild wet weather tomorrow, 54. Sun scattered showers Fridays. We start to dry out. Saturday could be dry. Sunday will be dry. Mostly sunny skies, 48 degrees as folks get back home after the holiday weekend. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We start with a number of traffic alerts out there. We start off actually in southeast Portland's Richmond neighborhood, where Portland police are conducting a fatal crash investigation. We're hearing that a pedestrian was struck and killed on southeast Cesar Chavez Boulevard early this morning before 6 o'clock. And right now that investigation has southeast Cesar Chavez closed basically between Division and Market Street at this point. We are working to get more details on that, and we hope to bring those to you here on Sunrise. Meanwhile, let me go back and show you this last scene here. We've got a crash on I-84 westbound near the I-5 split. The left lane is blocked, and traffic is quickly stacking up out past the Hollywood district on westbound I-84. So that drive has jumped up a bit. And last but not least, here down in the Wilsonville area, this is down near the Boone Bridge, northbound I-5. It looks like there's a disabled semi there over on the shoulder. The right lane is blocked, and China, as you look at this camera here, you can see the northbound I-5 commute is stacking up towards Charbonneau. So you need some extra time coming in from that side of town as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Coming up on Sunrise, holiday generosity in Vernonia is shifting into high gear. We'll show you how local firefighters and one very busy lead elf are making sure every family feels the magic this holiday season.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30, highlights from my one-on-one interview with Portland Mayor Keith Wilson on his plan to end unsheltered homelessness by Monday. Watch the story tonight live at 6:30 on KGW or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
The KGW Great Toy Drive is going on right now, and we need your help. One way you can donate is by going online, and then we'll do the shopping for you. Just go to kgw.com/toy and click Donate Cash. And it is a great week to give because all this week, local Toyota dealers will double your donations. You can also drop off new unwrapped toys in person this Saturday at our Clackamas Promenade Collection event. We will be there from 11 to 2. They'll bring a little joy to local kids this holiday season. And speaking of the Great Toy Drive, Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is live this morning in our toy box. So Thomas, you went somewhere pretty unique this week.
Yeah, that's right, China. Me and photographer Eric Patterson put our heads together and thought, okay, who's the most generous of them all? We think we found the answer, and this year, they're doing it with a little bit of a twist. In a place focused on others, generosity has kicked into another gear.
You know, it's a time to give.
Bailey Wegner, the lead elf of the Vernonia Fire Department, is busy scooping up presents from barrels, mailboxes, and the KGW Toy Drive, focused on helping families in need.
Just because a family might not be able to afford a Christmas doesn't mean that they shouldn't get to enjoy the magic.
She spent a decade perfecting her craft and is trained to keep a close eye on presents waiting to be piled into Santa's bag.
And so we've got some basketballs for some of the older kids. We've got some dolls for the little girls. We've got a cool little cash register for babies.
Last year, Wegner says the fire department helped out 184 families. This year, she expects the need to be even greater. The community has noticed a larger need too.
Absolutely.
Monique Kitchen works in downtown Vernonia at the Black Bear Pub.
no matter what, everybody deserves a present.
Inside, they're stocking toys for the fire department.
I have been one of those families that needed those toys. So it's awesome.
Already, Wegner's made one trip here, working tirelessly to make the holidays special for all families.
It's the big hug that says, "Thank you, Santa."
And it's always really, really cool to see the generosity in our community. Already, the KGW toy box is flooded with toys, but of course, we're continuing to take donations. Guys, we're not even to Thanksgiving yet, and people are already in the giving spirit, have been for a few weeks now. If you want to get involved, a lot of people have this question. Here's where you go. KGWtoy.com is the website to visit to find out where the closest place is for you to donate some toys. China?
Our resident elf, Thomas Schultz, reporting live for us this morning. Thank you, Elfie. And downtown Portland, the tree almost ready to shine bright for the holidays. Here's a live look from Pioneer Courthouse Square. And KGW will help flip the lights this Friday. So join our Christine Pinawanich at 5:30 on the bricks for a celebration that includes Portland's own Thomas Lauderdale, a pink martini. And if you can't make it in person, join us on KGW Plus, where we will be streaming the event live. And I think people want to know, how should they dress for this? Are they going to see rain? Could it be dry?
I think the weather could be as good as it really ever would be this time of the year. So that's good. Confidence, it's not 100%, but getting pretty high that it will be dry. Temperatures will be, upper 40s. Not much of a breeze, so that's pretty nice, yeah. Well, a lot of folks are headed out today, jumping on planes, traveling across the country. If you are, or your loved ones are, and you're wondering what's going on with them, pretty good shot at cold weather. It's leaving us alone, but it is dropping down the Rockies. There's Denver at 23. These are current temperatures. In the 40s down in Dallas this morning. Chicago 33, that's not bad. 27 up in Minneapolis. Our lake effect snow showers starting to pick up. Warm on the East Coast. There's a front that is pushing out to sea. That's why Washington, D.C. at 60 degrees mid-morning for them. There you can see some showers, but nothing overly bad. Showing up on the radar anyway across Wisconsin into Michigan. I think some of those lake effect snow bands are expected to pick up and become heavier. But really the nation's midsection, a little bit of snow in the Rockies. Pretty quiet overall, really. Here's a cold front out to sea. This will be coming in tomorrow, late day. We will see a couple shots of some pretty good rain, it looks like, coming through on Thanksgiving Day. Here we are this morning. We've got mist and drizzle in Portland and kind of patches of it. We've got what has been a pretty consistent flow of light to gentle rain, Newport across Salem, just kind of nipping up into McMinnville. And this area of moisture is going to be lifting up to the north. Here's the way Futurecast shows at 10 o'clock this morning, starting to move toward the Portland area. Here we are noon, 1 o'clock. This will be the rainiest part of the day for Portland and Vancouver. And then as we go through the afternoon, certainly drying in Salem. And by late day, Portland could be drying out. And I think odds are pretty good that we will, in fact, be dry this evening. Here we are at 9 o'clock, so that's a nice break. Mainly dry overnight until early Thursday morning. This is 7 a.m. and already showing a shot of some heavier rain pushing across the I-5 corridor. Midday, some scattered showers. Another shot of rain picking up a little bit later in the day on Thanksgiving Day. So clouds, mild weather, rain at times today, tomorrow. Here's a look at the coast. Schnook Casino Resort in Lincoln City, all cloudy, of course. And there's what I call the barn shot from the Salem tasting room camera out in Sherwood. You can tell it's kind of misty, and look how low the cloud deck is, 48 degrees. There's the temperature report. Again, this is mild air, 50 in Newport, 46 Bend. It is freezing out in Burns, 31, 33 in Baker City. So it's a rainy morning for you folks in Salem and Corvallis, but a much drier and actually becoming dry afternoon for you. Southwest Washington, we've got light showers or mist out there this morning. Rain centered over the noon hour, and then a dry evening coming. Temperatures in the 50s, winds southeast. Tomorrow, 54. It could be breezy at times, noticeably at times tomorrow. Winds will be south, maybe 10 to 20, some peak gust about 25. Rain at times, the showers midday. And then we start to get out of this Friday with sunbreak, scattered showers. Saturday could be dry, Sunday will be dry. Next storm front comes in with likely rain on Tuesday of next week. Pass level, just wet, all rain over the Cascade highways, Chris.
All right, Rod, thank you for that. We pick it up in Southeast Portland again. Tragic news this morning. Southeast Cesar Chavez Boulevard remains closed for an ongoing fatal crash investigation here north of Division. Photojournalist Eric Patterson is on the scene. Portland police telling us that a pedestrian was struck and killed before 6 o'clock this morning. We're working to get more details on this, but what I can tell you right now is that Cesar Chavez is closed between Market and Division Street at this point. All right, hopping back up to the Banfield, we had some earlier trouble westbound near I-5. That crash is clear, but I-84 westbound's running a little thick at this point. And then hopping over the west side, we've got a new crash here that's just popped up on the exit ramp from 26 westbound to 217 south. Could be a little slick sometimes. Maybe cars taking that just a little too fast. Not sure that that's the cause, but in any event, you can see one of those exit lane ramps is blocked. Traffic starting to build just a bit. I-84 is up to almost 30 minutes from Troutdale. And last but not least, down in Wilsonville, we've got a disabled semi, it looks like, on the north end of the Boone Bridge. One lane is blocked there, and traffic is stacking up towards the Charbonneau district, working your way northbound on I-5. China?
Thank you, Chris. Coming up, how one local center is turning a meal with friends into a stigma-free way for seniors to get the food they need. KGW News at Sunrise continues in 90 seconds.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. A local organization just got a $15,000 boost to help local entrepreneurs who are BIPOC and low income launch their food and beverage businesses. Celine Stevens shows us how this program will help them thrive.
A lot goes into getting a small business off the ground, and even more goes into helping it survive. The Empresarios program is meant to help Latino, BIPOC, and low-income entrepreneurs get started, and they were just awarded the funds to do just that.
In the beginning of this business, it was kind of hard. It was a little hard at first because my dad didn't know where to start.
Betsy Witzel and Trian's dad owns this food cart called Tabueno Ne. Like it can be for many small business owners, getting started was difficult. But thanks to the Hacienda Community Development Corporation's Empresarios program, he got the help he needed.
These people have a choice to pursue their dream instead of being afraid of holding back because they don't know where to start.
They helped him navigate his language barrier and pursue his dream. Now, the program is getting additional funding from WaFd Bank Foundation.
We awarded Hacienda CDC with a $15,000 grant to help their Empresarios program, which primarily helps them serve Latino, BIPOC, and low-income entrepreneurs who are looking to launch and grow their businesses in the food and beverage business.
Although this program has been around for years, it's kept up with the times.
We're going to be exploring AI and what the basics are for small businesses, how it can be leveraged.
The funds will also help with the digital literacy training, marketing skills, business registration, and more.
It's so important to support food and beverage entrepreneurs, especially in our local area of the city of Portland. I feel like Portland is really built on small businesses.
In Portland, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
And on this Thanksgiving week, the need for food is growing for seniors in the Northwest. But social workers say many older people are uncomfortable reaching out for help. Libby Dowsett visited a center in Northeast Portland to see how they're getting seniors in the door.
Those at the Center for Positive Aging have turned Food Pantry Day into a lunch date for seniors.
You come in, you're welcome. You can eat lunch if you want to. You can get food if you want to.
Mel Bain has been lunching here and picking up food pantry items for his apartment for 2 years.
I didn't know anybody. I didn't do anything. My whole life was in that apartment. So I started coming over here because you're not supposed to be alone all the time.
He says he now knows everyone at his table by name.
There is no judgment. We're all old people and we're in the same bag here. We're trying to get by the best we can.
The center says poverty, isolation, and health disparities disproportionately impact older adults. And the need is even higher among older low-income, BIPOC, and immigrant communities.
If you've been self-sufficient and independent for so many years, nobody wants to say that they have that need. We want everybody to come and get what they need and feel comfortable and feel welcome.
Because one of the bad things of being old is being alone. I come here to have somebody to eat with.
That's important, right?
Oh, yeah, mentally, you know.
I'm taken care of, you know, and I don't feel like it's just me on my own. I feel like it's all of us working together to make sure that people get enough to eat so they don't have to worry about it.
Now, if seniors can't find the food they want here, there's also an Asian food pantry on the second Thursday of every month right here. In Northeast Portland, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Coming up at 8, people in Western Washington say crows are tearing up their lawns, but experts say the real culprit is below the surface. The latest piece from our Environment Northwest team coming up on our 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise.